Okay, next we have Andy Murray from SSE, formerly Scottish Southern Energy. He is virtual, so just give us a minute to switch over and we'll get started with his presentation.
Okay, I'll just get started. Thanks. So yeah, I'm Andy Murray from SSE, and I'm going to give a presentation today just on virtualizing GOOSE and commissioning a digital substation. So our 61850 journey to date, we built our first station bus only substation around 10 years ago and commissioned it, so that was MMS only. And for the 10 years since then, we've built several 61850 station bus substations in the north of Scotland area that you can see on the screen there just now, and there's a plan, as is shown, for a pathway to 2030 investments to further expand the grid in the north of Scotland, mostly for the connection of renewable energy and incomers. In the last 2 to 3 years, we've started to embark on our kind of fully digital journey from station bus to include process bus and GOOSE. And yeah, today I just want to talk about how Test Suite Pro and some of the tools have helped us visualize GOOSE and move on from a kind of conventional hardwire delivery substation or partial station bus MMS solution to a fully digital solution that we're looking at. Actually, FAT and testing started just this week today, so we're right there on the first kind of tests of our digital substation. So our digital substation project is initially was known as Project Trends for Transmission Network Digital Substation, hoping to demonstrate the benefits, capex savings, faster construction and testing, as we mentioned in a lot of the presentations previously today, and increased standardization for delivery, which again we see as a key driver for working with multiple different contractors on multiple sites at the same time. We want to see hopefully some operational benefits, improved safety, improved data, and risk-based asset management from some of the big data that we can collect from a fully digital substation. The most interesting aspect for me is obviously the control system implications. We're deploying GOOSE and sampled values for the first time, using multi-vendor solutions for publishing and subscribing. These again were new protocols for us with a steep learning curve. We thought we'd done a lot of learning in the last 10 years with station bus and MMS, but once you scratch the surface of GOOSE and sampled value, it obviously multiplies up even more, and there's so much more to know underneath there. We obviously as well want maintenance and field team buy-in. That's something that we've learned from our initial station bus delivery, where we probably didn't have enough of that. And when we went to site, a lot of what we were presenting with 61850 was a surprise and very new to them. So for the development of the process bus solution, we've engaged with them at a much earlier stage and tried to explain what's going to change along the way and the implications of building a fully digital substation. And again, we're obviously engaging with new equipment and suppliers. A lot of it's kind of equipment that's just coming onto the market and kind of very new to us as well. So deployment is underway, and our factory acceptance testing of our first digital substation has begun this week, as I said. So yeah, we're getting on with testing that now. So in terms of GOOSE and sample values applications, we followed some of the same standardization and lessons learned from our substation improvement program that we've learned from the last 10 years. It became obvious to us after the initial delivery that top-down engineering was very important for substation delivery. We use Helix as our design tool for 61850 configuration and communications configuration. So we identified in a kind of spreadsheet exercise on the desktop the initial kind of GOOSE concepts of data sets, what signals had to be published and subscribed to from one IED to the next. And we built a matrix table for that we obviously look to move into Helix. But there was quite a significant desktop exercise initially just to identify the signals from all the IEDs and all the different bay types that we had. As I said, we created basic application schemes and helinks for one feeder bay. So just an example there of some signals that are being published and subscribed to by the IEDs in helinks. And then obviously the beauty of helinks is that you can quickly scale that up to different bays for GOOSE and sampled values, but you very quickly find yourself into many applications and GOOSE publishing and subscribers, which can become difficult to follow and diagnose as well when you're new to this and you're looking at Wireshark publishers or Wireshark packet streams. It's not really a practical way to find out if your GOOSE is working healthy. So what did we do to have a look at that? The key thing for the engineers was that they were previously relying on multimeters and drawings, and protection engineers now need to understand networks, LGOS, and MAC addressing to be able to identify trips, interlocks, and controls, and how they move through the system and work with GOOSE and sampled value monitoring. So what tools were available for us to help solve the problems? We used GOOSE Tracker, Signal Flow, and Sequence Tester. GOOSE Tracker allowed a quick glance solution to assess the GOOSE performance. It can be used in the early stages to ensure all the communications are established. So one of the things we liked about it was just this visual representation of the LGOS, whether things were healthy or not healthy, subscribed, missing, misconfigured. It was a very easy kind of on the eye solution to look at if you weren't familiar with the concepts initially. Once the system is commissioned, in general, most of your GOOSE signals are okay because the signal is either on the fibre or it's not. So once you've got over this initial commissioning phase of is the correct file in the IED, is everything named correctly, are the publishers and subscribers all okay, the chances of you losing like one GOOSE message out of many is fairly slim unless you have a fibre or equipment failure. One of the key aspects was that it consumes the SCD file, so there's a low risk of user error if they're setting up tests or looking for particular streams. And in the case of this GOOSE Tracker, it's kind of easy for people to see where there are issues. There's no kind of in-depth knowledge for you to know everything's okay. There's clear explanation that there's a configuration error, a stream warning that one of your GOOSE signals is missing on the wire, which kind of suggests there's an IED fault. And obviously what everyone wants to see is lots of valid, true and healthy green symbols telling you that everything's okay with your GOOSE setup. So yeah, we really liked that in our initial testing, and we're looking forward to see how we can carry that forward in our FAT. And we did kind of like the GOOSE Tracker so much that we recreated a bit of it on our HMI, which is obviously only looking at the LGOS MMS aspect of it. There's no packet information here, but it's just a visual representation that our engineers can relate to, both from Test Suite Pro and then just an HMI screen that shows similar information. And we also kind of created that screen for the sample values as well. So as I said earlier, one of the key things was that the engineers can no longer rely on drawings for trips, interlocks or controls. So we were really liked how signal flow helps us to visualize GOOSE moving through the network. So our engineers can have a familiar kind of diagram to look at. So as you can see here, we have a kind of trip drawing for the circuit breakers. How can we recreate this easily with signal flow so that Test Suite Pro can show us how the signals move through the network? And it was really again a case of consuming that SCD file with the low risk to the user because it's all in there. There's nothing for the user really to configure. We're just picking out the signals we want, and the drag and drop auto configuration for the GOOSE communication. So I'll just skip on to Test Suite Pro now. This is one of the trips that we've recorded as part of our tests. So we have a backup protection device here. sending a trip to our PIU switchgear control units, which then in turn sends the position of the switchgear through to the protection IDs. And this was all recorded on our test bed, and it's a great solution to show engineers how signals that they're familiar with from the drawings obviously carry through onto the signal flow analyzer and show you the positions changing from good, intermediate, on, and the trips moving through the system. And obviously you can do this in real time as well with the sequence of events. We can see the expected false to true for the initial trip and all the intermediate states and timings in between. So this has been really useful in terms of helping our engineers move from the visualization of a drawing to how a GOOSE message actually moves through the network from device to device. Test sequencer, again, we're looking at this to be a useful tool for being able to replicate and repeat those tests. And if we can do that test on one particular bay, can we use test sequencer to run that test, hopefully see it pass, and then in future we know if we open this test again in test sequencer and run the same test, we should get a pass if nothing on the network has changed. So the sequences were built automatically from the previous signal flow test. And yeah, this allows us to rerun in the future, knowing that we'll pass, and it also gives a visual record and export of the test results. So I think we're still kind of looking at this for our FAT. Hopefully we can marry this up with some injection tests so that if we do a particular set of injections, we get a particular result of trips. And we can run this concurrently with the injection tester. So again, if we just run this video this time, it was the same test. It was a close and open of a breaker. So we see the signal stepping through and the relevant parts of the test sequence are passing as it does so. So once you've passed this test once and you're happy that all your GOOSE is configured correctly, you should be able to open this up again anytime down the line and run the same test and get the same result. So that's the kind of repeatability that we're looking for our engineers when it comes to maintenance of digital substations down the years. And yeah, just some examples of the test results that we get. Again, very clear for the operator or the engineer. They don't have to have in-depth knowledge to see that there's a pass, and some additional information about state changes, timings for people who want to know a bit more about that. So yeah, really good in that aspect in terms of a clear explanation of how the test is proceeded to pass or fail from the engineer. And yeah, finally, just a word on SCD file usage. I think one of the key things that I've seen in the last kind of 10 years is how the SCD files become more central to the applications and diagnostics. Obviously, the SCD file is your kind of key. It's good to see applications consuming that and being able to create test sets or test applications or test sequences from that directly with minimal user interface. It's really time saving. It gives you confidence that everything that's in the SCD is configured. And I like to kind of say that it gives more engineering payback. If you put the time into designing, investing the time in your SCD file and SCD engineering, then you get a lot more payback from it in terms of being able to use it for your testing if these applications can consume it without user input. We also actually use the SCD file now to configure our network switches, which is another added bonus and payback from that. So that attributes to significant reduction in configuration time. Validation of the SCD file, like I said, comparison of live network packets is another really good aspect of it. It gives you confidence that what is in your device is what is in the file and is what is on the network. So you have that validation that everything's configured good. And the additional benefit is having the one source of truth from the SCD file. And yeah, we're excited to see how the tool can scale up as we begin our FAT of our final design. This is the first time we've had our entire network available to us in terms of bays and switches. So we want to see if there's any bandwidth issues or if the tools can help us identify that. And yeah, we want to show our engineers other instances where we can use signal flow to help them follow new GOOSE messages through the system. And that's me. Thanks very much.